Hello everyone. I'm just gonna take a little double check that this is working and showing up. Yes, perfect. Seems like it's working. Just checking on my phone here. Awesome. Wow. Yeah, this is my first live stream ever on YouTube. So welcome and thank you so much to everyone who helped me reach the 50 subscribers so I can unlock the live streaming feature here. And I am going to offer just some open channeling today to see what wants to come through for those who are joining or anyone who's tuning in and watching the recording later. I feel to share a little bit about channeling. So some of you joining may already be familiar with what that means. For those that might be new to this, it's about being able to connect from outside of our mental space, our mind space, tune into our intuition, into other energies, to connect with the universe, with life, with our souls from our hearts. Any number of different energies or beings could come through, whether it is someone's ancestor or a descendant, a spirit from the earth, could be someone that's passed, or it could be there are many elemental beings. Pardon, I'm just going to take a sip of water here. Actually, that reminds me, my very first experience, both of them were related to the water element, actually. So perhaps elemental energy may want to come through. There are the angels and archangels. There's many galactic races and beings in the universe and multiverse. Other soul aspects, what some might call a past life or higher self is, or future self, to me is what I would consider a soul aspect if we're not thinking in terms of linear time. It's a part of our soul group or an energy or a timeline that we might be connected with. I'm just going to adjust my chair here, take a taller seat to get ready for the channeling so I'm nice and open and clear. And we do have the chat box today. So if you are joining live at any point, you're welcome to enter and ask questions or make comments or give requests. And I'm going to start with just more general channeling and see what wants to come through. And then if there are any comments or requests or questions at the end, there'll be an opportunity for that. So if you are here and joining or watching, I invite you, if you feel called to, you can join me in a meditation position, which means you could sit with your back a little bit straighter and taller, but still relaxed. No need to create tension in your muscles or your shoulders. Let them drop, and that just helps our channels be open, and if any light language or frequencies, energies want to come through, they will come down through a little more clear, a little easier into our systems. And a traditional position is to sit cross-legged or in lotus. You may sit however is comfortable for you, though, as long as your back can be a little bit straighter, and you can sit with your feet flat on the ground or out in front of you, or sometimes if I'm sitting on the ground, I'll bring my knees up and hug them a little bit. What else? And of course, if you have any injuries or pain or anything, no pressure. You can give a little lean on a chair or whatever your body is needing. You can even lie down if you like. And one thing about channeling is if we're in the more meditative state. You may enter like a deeper trance state, which is not necessarily like falling asleep, like it's just going into a more subconscious space, and you'll still receive any messages or guidance or energy on a on a subconscious level. You're not missing anything, and you can always rewatch a recording too if you want to hear it on a conscious way. I personally, sometimes when I try to rewatch things that I have that experience with, and I just keep going back into that trance state. So it's really maybe meant to be received that way, to be completely out of the really present conscious mind, and just allow it to enter in a deeper level. So it seems I have a bit of a dry mouth today, so I might take some breaks for water. Yes, it's nice early morning for me. It's 8 a.m. on the Oaxacan coast. I'm just an hour ahead of the Calgary time, where I know some people may be viewing, and some people may be viewing from Europe. So, I believe that's a few hours ahead. So, hello and welcome to wherever you are in the world, whatever time is perfect. So I would just invite us also, if you want to start to just bring a little bit more awareness into your heart space. If it helps or is comfortable, you can even bring your hands to your chest, put them there, give a little pressure, and just allow your breath to start to have a little bit more slowness to it, just bringing that awareness and gentleness in. Breathing into the heart. And perhaps a little bit longer and slower through the nose. Even holding with the heart space. Letting out slowly. And just as that breath naturally starts to slow, I'm going to invite us to take 3 even more deep and conscious breaths in. I'm going to ring my singing bowl here, and at the beginning of each ring, just to take that nice deep breath in through the nose all the way down to our bellies, our diaphragms. Just to hold for a moment and release slowly. So, number 1. Number 2. And last one. You may wish to continue those nice slow breaths in, or just to let your breath just be comfortable and natural, and just stay connected with your heart space. I'm going to take another sip of water here and then begin the channeling. So I do see that someone has joined the live stream. So hello and welcome. I just finished guiding us in just connecting with our heart and our breath. So feel free to do that if you feel called, just to have a little awareness and just to bring a little slowness and deepness to the breath. I was about to begin channeling, and there'll be an opportunity for requests or questions at the end. So thank you. Welcome. I open myself up as a divine and clear channel to welcome in whatever energies and messages would best serve the highest good and highest purpose of all who are watching, either live or in the recording, tuning into Source and any other helpful, loving beings or energies that want to come through today. I'm just initially hearing the word peace. That peace only truly resides from within. That the deeper and slower and more profound we can breathe, no matter what our circumstances and our activities, that will connect us more with that energy of peace. In Espanol es paz, peace o paz. That no matter the languages we speak, the cultures we come from, the context of our lives, our families, our ethnicities, our finances, jobs, the color of our skin, our genders, our relationships, our emotions, all of these things are beautiful part of the human experience, but at our core, we all have beautiful, radiant souls that we can access peace from, that we can connect with Source, with God, Goddess, Creator, the universe, Chi, Wankantanka, Spirit, all the beautiful words and ways we have of identifying this greater consciousness that we're all beautiful and unique expressions of. It's very valuable. The word valuable wants to come up to honor our unique expressions and all these human aspects and pieces of our identity and personality, and to have fun, try to have fun with them, to play with them, and see that they're part of the game of being human, and that we don't need to discount them entirely, and yet to have them connected with that soul consciousness, that universal consciousness, and to be reminded that they're a projection, a creation of that. And it's a way for a Source to know the infinite possibilities and expressions of itself. And just going to sip some water here. This is a pretty key concept in what some people might call the Hermeticism, one of the Hermetic principles, and it goes as above, so below, as within, so without, soul to soul, as the universe. And I like to add, all is one and one is all. It really speaks to that reflection as well of the inner world to the outer world, and how what's going on in our individual subconscious realities, or perhaps our conscious mind as well, has an immediate impact on the world around us. That's not to say we may be able to manifest so instantly yet as to wish for or ask for an apple and it appears in our hands. That is possible. But perhaps we have an unconscious desire or longing for something. We maybe want a relationship with someone, or we want something to happen in our lives, or to see a change in the world. And even those unconscious prayers, in a way, are heard as we're connected to Source. That energy is sent there, and then sent out to the appropriate people and places and times to put that into motion. And this is why the importance of being conscious of our thoughts and feelings and desires and energy is of utmost importance. And to be coming from more of that conscious, intentional, creative energy because one way or another, these things will be reflected back in our lives in the physical 3D, 4D, 5D realities. One example comes to mind is I recall I was at my home and it had been raining for many days quite heavily, and I was just having this thought one day that I had wanted more quartz crystals, and I felt like a calling. I needed to get more quartz crystals, and it was raining and raining and raining, and I was feeling just really cozy and staying home. And then on the first sunny day in a few days after having this thought, I was so happy for the warmth and the sunshine, and I went outside, and I had a very long driveway on this private street, and it was very serene and everything was sparkling from the rain. And I walked to the end of my driveway, and literally right at the end of my driveway, there was this little pile of 4 little quartz crystals. And I recall being quite almost startled, or it was like, oh, where did these come from? It's been pouring rain for days and no one's been out walking, and it's first thing in the morning and I'm out here in the sun and I wanted quartz crystals, and here they are at the end of my driveway. And my rational mind kicked in a little bit, and I thought, oh, maybe someone has something. This street was on a little bit of a hill. Maybe someone has a garden bed where they have, some people put lots of rocks or stones or crystals, and maybe the rain washed it down to my driveway. But the way they were positioned on the driveway, it wasn't quite on the road, the hill, and they were right at the end. And I went for my morning walk, and I really looked around, and none of the houses at all at the top of this street had anything like that, any garden beds, crystals, anything. So I accepted this unconscious, pretty quick manifestation from the universe. I was very grateful for them and astounded. And I have a few stories like that, actually. Some that go a little deeper, a little bigger. I feel it's coming through to share more. One thing I was experiencing both consciously and a little unconsciously was it was that same year as the crystals, and then it happened again with a couple of instances just a few months ago in another place I was living, where people started coming to my door, just coming and knocking. And the thing that I needed or wanted that was maybe a little bit bigger and was going to involve other people, literally people would come to my door and be giving me the answers, what I needed. And there were different contexts to this. The same place that I was living, there was going to be a new owner there, and there was some concern about maybe this beautiful old home and this beautiful property, maybe it would get developed, it would get knocked down and something new was built. And I found myself experiencing a lot of fear and anxiety around it, and I really didn't want to create from that place. I wanted to be conscious with it. And I thought, well, why don't I sit down and set a really clear intention around what I want and what I need. And it wasn't even just that I sat and I went into meditation and I just set a single intention. I was really in this strong, confident energy. I sat and I really breathed, and I really set a strong energy in myself. And I listed. I made a long list out loud, and I said, this is what needs to be created at this space. This is what I want. This is going to be the energy here, whether or not I live here. And I feel like I need help to make this happen in the 3D. And one of the last things I said, and this person is going to come to my house. They're going to show up at my door, and my answers are going to be given to me. I won't even have to go looking for this. And literally the next day, the city councilor for the area that I lived in was out door knocking there was an election coming up, and he came, some people might say by chance, but I feel like by perfect alignment and in response to the energy of my manifestation, my intention, what I wanted to create, came to my house and my door, and I started talking to him. I started explaining the situation, and this beautiful person in this position of like municipal significance and power was completely open to everything I was sharing. He was super passionate. He is this amazing person, just really caring about the community and wanting to preserve the older culture while being able to create new. And he was even, I recall him saying, "Oh, I'll be the executive director of your project. I got it. I know this person down the street, and I can talk to this person, and we can make this happen." And it was this really beautiful energy, and it was very passionate. And I got a direct contact, and I was able to message him, and I ended up reaching out to another government person, and it just set off this whole really easy, beautiful domino effect. And another thought is that some people may see that as just like a beautiful coincidence, and I would use the word synchronicity or alignment, where I could have stayed in that fear. I could have stayed in that anxiety. I could have stayed in this like victim kind of disempowerment concern, and who knows what would have come from that. Perhaps this space, these new owners that were coming in, it would have created this reality that I didn't want, and that a lot of the people in the area didn't want, and would have felt a little bit more still of this like 3D greed, capitalist kind of energy, rather than a more uplifted and holistic and like vibrant community kind of loving energy in this area and for this space. And perhaps if I hadn't gone into setting those clear intentions and been aligned with this different timeline, and this person coming to my door specifically the next day and being very open to everything I was saying, perhaps he would have gone to another door that day, or he would have come to my house later, and I wouldn't have thought to talk to him about this, or I wouldn't have been so confident in it, or maybe he never would have come to the house, or so I'm hearing that we can activate any possibilities and any timelines. Anything like this can happen with both our conscious and our unconscious energies, emotions, thoughts, desires, feelings. Let's drink some water. Feel just to give it a moment to let all of that integrate and settle. Just connecting back with our hearts and our breath. I'm grateful to be able to share of my own experiences, and that seems just my own journey is what is channeling through today, and could be of most support for those who are listening. So thank you for hearing all of this. And I do feel to share more. It's been a very beautiful journey of awakening to and understanding how these things operate in myself and in all people, and coming more and more into these conscious abilities. And now really my main intention that has been set in my life and in offering this channeling work and in anything I'm pursuing, even in relationships and activities, is I've just asked and set a very clear intention, and I reaffirm that I wish to be of highest service to my own 5D soul path, how I can best support the earth and humanity and all people, all beings, and being able to come into that frequency, come into that reality. And that's part of why I'm here today, offering this session. I was guided to begin this today, so. I feel to take note. I didn't start by acknowledging that it is a new moon, or for some cultures it's considered the Lunar New Year. So in Vietnam and China and some other Asian countries and places, or what's also known as the Spring Festival. In different languages, of course. And what's coming through now, I feel the presence of some of our beloved blue avian friends is this is in part to not deepen or create more of an attachment to time. Even these cycles of the moon and of how different peoples and cultures have chosen to relate to the cycles and to time, doesn't need to be so set in stone, so to speak. It doesn't need to be so solidified or crystallized. All these analogies for the physical, hard stone, crystal, solid. The time really is meant to be and is a fluid state, an energetic being, force, not a harsh force, but like how water can move in many different ways, a fluid. And that sometimes, it can seemingly flow backwards or forwards or speed up or slow down, or perhaps something seems like it's repeating, or we're caught in a loop, day to day, month to month, year to year, lifetime to lifetime. And even thinking in terms of past, present, and future can be deconstructed and moved into thinking in terms of more parallel and multi-dimensional expressions of our experiences. So if we're thinking of maybe like a memory or a past life, that's more like we're reaching in to this other timeline that could really be anywhere, not just this thing that's behind us. Really, the only time is now, and we also have the ability to move into any other now, which goes with what I was already sharing regarding the different timelines we can move into with our intentions, what we can call in, what we can create. I'm feeling a little bit of a light language activation wanting to come through from the blue avians. Just to introduce light language a little bit, it is one of the original languages of the universe, and it is a language and an energy that can basically cut through any mental or physical or conscious energies and get in directly into our energy systems, into our subconscious, and help to shift our conditioning or our programming or our energy. And the intention of the light language that wants to come through today is to help realign our relationship with time and to bring us more into the present now and now and now. And there may be sounds, language, sounds more like music. There may be mudras and movements. And I invite you just to, again, just stay in your heart space and have a gentle awareness of your breath. And if you're open to receiving the energies, you can say that in your heart or out loud. I am open to receiving this light language. And you're also welcome to say, I'm here, but I don't wish to receive today. You have full autonomy, sovereignty, consent, and what you want to experience. So I'll just give you a moment to feel into that and decide if you want to receive or not. Okay. And to just ring the singing bowl to help allow that energy to integrate. Thank you so much to our Blue Avian friends for that activation. And I felt the presence and the connection with one feminine energy from them in particular, one of their priestesses. I felt the presence of the energy from Egypt and Sirius and their connection to those places and timelines. Thank you. I feel to prompt. I invite you, if you feel called, just to take a moment and reflect and observe on how you are feeling in this moment, how your heart feels, how your body, your avatar, your hologram feels. Perhaps observing any differences in sensations or in your breath, in your mind, your thoughts, your emotions. Just letting that settle and integrate as well. And just bringing the awareness back into the heart space and the nice, slow, gentle breaths through the nose. I ask, is there anything else that would like to come through before I open up to any questions or requests? Just feeling a very deep energy of gratitude, and just wanting to say thank you again to anyone who's joining today live or in the recording. And yeah, I hope it supports your journey in life and your own well-being and being in the energy of peace and love and abundance, and being able to radiate that from your own heart without any need for anything to bring that forward in yourself, not relying on anything externally, whether that's a food or a person or an activity, and just being reminded that it's all available from within, and to be gentle with ourselves and understanding that we may not always be able to access that, or sometimes we do need some support or something to help us get into these states and these frequencies, and that's perfectly fine as well. And the more that we find our way there and use our tools and our meditations or our channeling or anything else to help us feel those ways, and the easier it will become, and it will show up in more aspects of our lives. So thank you. So thank you. If anyone does have any questions or requests, I see there are some viewers right now. Please feel free to use the live chat. I'll just give a moment to see if anyone has anything they want to ask that I can inquire about, or perhaps it's already been answered through the channeling. So I'll just, I'll bring my singing bowl one more time for those that aren't asking, just to enjoy that while we wait. Well, there are no questions or requests in the live chat today, it seems. Just make sure, yes. So, yeah, for those of you still here or that are watching the full recording, you may want to stay and continue with your meditation, or if you want to gently bring yourself back with some gentle movement, or just becoming more present in your body and your environment. And I would invite and encourage to have a good, nice, tall cup of water after this, just to help integrate the energies. And if the higher frequencies and the light language moved anything or evoked anything, it'll help any density clear out and just be very nourishing. You can even set that intention with your water, just asking to receive all of that as you drink it. And you may want to meditate more in the coming days, or do some journaling, just be more aware of your dreams, maybe connect with nature, even if it's just a plant in your house, or just a short walk to visit a tree, or maybe a longer hike. I'm very grateful to be in this position, to be able to channel and share these energies. Very grateful to the blue avians and to the guidance to share my own stories, and to everybody who tuned in and joined today. Thank you. I feel like we're very blessed to have these lives on Earth, even with the challenges that we face and the shadows that may emerge. And it's such a gift to be alive, even when it hurts. I will acknowledge. And to be connected, to have community that wants to make these changes in ourselves and be more in the 5D, be more in peace. So I'm very grateful for that. And if you're watching later from the recording, please feel free to leave comments on YouTube, or if I've shared it on Telegram or Facebook. And in the YouTube description, I do have, if you would like to join my Telegram group or the Facebook page to keep more up to date with the Talos channelings. I also do the weekly High Council of Talos channeling. So feel free to check out those links. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube, that's also a good way to just get the video notifications. In this moment, I'm not 100% certain when I might do another live stream. I am going to start, and the first one will be today, as long as the video uploads okay. I'll put that intention, please. I will start a Learning Tarot series. So I'm going to go through, because I'm quite new to tarot, and I received a guidance to just go through each card and give a little read and learn it together. I will record that and hopefully get that out today. So I'll just give a moment. I know there's some more people joining, I saw. So if you have any questions or you want to ask anything now in the live chat, I'll just give another moment if you have any requests. Yay. Just drink some water while I give it a moment. Yes, I appreciate too the memory at the beginning of this live stream coming up about my first experiences with channeling many moons ago was twice connecting with the water element, actually, and being a channel for water. So that was a really beautiful experience. Maybe I will do an elemental channeling themed channel sometime. So we'll see. Okay, well, no questions or comments yet in the live chat. So I will say thank you very much for joining today and receiving this beautiful transmission. And if you joined late, the channeling was earlier on in the video. So feel free to check out the recording. So thank you and much love. Until next time.